I'm smoking a motherfucking stogie. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Daddy?
Can you hear yourself?
Oh my God, I can hear
so
myself.
So your volume.
No pun intended. I hear you.
I love it. But it's nice though. It's crispy, right?
What's going on, everybody? Today's episode. What are they doing in New York? Taxing cigars 95%. Who does that really hurt at the end? We'll talk about it on the Burn Down, baby.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Down. I'm Justin, a.k.a. The Dapper Cigar. This gentleman is Eric, a.k.a. Brother Cigar. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Drop a comment below. If you're listening, please follow and subscribe and share it with everybody. Check out our website, burndown.podcast.com. Become a member. It's only $5 a month. You get discounts and members-only giveaways. Check out our cigar, The Blueprint. If you are a member, you get 15% off. Today's episode, cigar tax, they're looking to increase it to 95%. They already increased it from what it was a few years ago
to 75.
To 75. Now they're talking about 95 fucking percent.
Bullshit. I love New York and I hate New York. It's a love-hate in this fucking place.
It's a love-hate relationship. Like right now, I really love them though. You know where that's from?
No.
You go to parties? I've never seen you at them. It's a love-hate thing. Like right now, I really love them, though.
Is that Will Ferrell?
No, that's from Superbad.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, I love parties. Really? Because I don't see you at them. Well, it's a love-hate thing.
Yeah, so 95%. I didn't realize it. I started seeing things on Instagram, putting up like a poll, like Cigar Rights of America, the PCA, saying like they're fighting in New York. And I didn't fully understand what was going on. And then I was talking to a guy who listens to the podcast down in Australia, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard in New York."
In Australia?
Yeah, my boy.
First off, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Cigars and Coffee.
That's really cool.
My guy Cigars and Coffee down in Australia. I talk to him pretty frequently on Instagram, and he was the one who told me. And he goes, "I heard that we're talking about like bullshit tax because I posted a clip. I posted like a picture about taxing more on tobacco, and he was like, "Oh, hold on, let me."
Oh, he's got to turn on the ventilation. That's one thing we do have to get. I want to get a fucking rabbit.
This thing does okay.
It's not, but not anymore. We need to get a rabbit air and stick it right on the fucking wall. That thing would.
Rabbit
add
air,
a little fan right there.
Give us a discount code.
We should, yeah, use some of that event money, get a little fan going.
So my guy Cigars and Coffee from Australia was like, "Yeah, I heard in New York they're raising it." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he sent me the Fox News clip. I'm like, "Motherfucker, that was what was going around. That everyone was posting on their story." I was like, "I didn't even realize that. Of course, it's going to be New York. It's already 75." Dude,
it was on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
that's hard. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
I
feel like I got a mouthful of marbles. Tucker Carlson.
No, I can't say it 8 times. Yeah, but he had him on. They interviewed like this lawyer from like Staten Island who has a cigar.
Thick accent too, man.
My
boy was laying it on heavy,
bro. It was hilarious. So New York, right? But he started saying, yeah, they're proposing to tax us more in New York for tobacco. They want to bring it up now to 95%. In real quick math terms, right? If a cigar is $10 in Pennsylvania in a retail shop, a mom and pop shop, that same cigar in New York now, or hopefully not, if it goes through, $19.50. You're paying twice.
Twice as much.
Bullshit.
And it's gonna hurt. Like for instance,
before we even get to that, it hurts.
Okay.
Do you know what they tax cannabis, weed in New York?
It's like 10 or 12%.
They tax weed 13%.
Yeah.
So
they tax something that actually alters like your decision making and your perception. It actually alters your perception, whereas cigars don't do anything.
Dumb.
And actually, one of the things that they talked about on that Tucker Carlson actually brought up, he says, cigars don't kill people.
He's like, a lot of people get upset about it, but that's just the facts.
He goes, the facts are that the average cigar smoker is not smoking they smoke once in a while. They have a cigar on the weekend to relax. They're not chain smoking them every single day like people that are smoking cigarettes are.
Yeah.
He said, so cigars don't kill people. He said it's literally like nil to your health for the average cigar smoker.
We've done plenty of episodes, reading articles, going through that, stating those facts where it's nil to have 1 to 2 cigars a day, they said.
Yeah. Now, even guys like us, right, that are seasoned vets, that are cigar aficionados,
Veterans.
okay, we smoke cigars. We know cigars. It is our business. It is our it's our lives.
Yeah.
We don't even smoke every single day.
No, I don't. I definitely don't.
Okay? And so to tax something and to go after an industry that, quite frankly, is non-existent when it comes to any, like, smoking industry, anything that you can smoke, cigars are the least of the smoking industry.
And as we always reference,
by a long shot, it's not even a fucking crumb compared to the
who's
whole
our
thing.
guy from head of relations for the PSA?
Joshua Habursky.
Our guy Joshua Habursky. Shout out. We had him on years ago on the podcast. He's the head of relations for the PCA. So basically, he's down in DC advocating and fighting for the rights for cigars. And he told us that the overall tobacco sale in the United States is X amount. For argument purposes, say it's $1 million for simple math, right?
Yeah.
$1 million of overall tobacco sales. Out of all the cigar sales out of that $1 million, 0.0.
Yeah, it's
0.01. What is it? 0.01 of a percent?
It's less than a percent. It's like a fraction of a percent. So if you think 1% of a million is 10 grand, it's what, 5 grand? It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's so minuscule, which is what I was saying, which is what I brought up, is that and that's just including tobacco. That's not including cannabis sales. That's not including hookah. That's not including...
Because it all gets rolled into one.
That's not including vaping, right?
Stupid.
So when you include all of the stuff that you smoke, right, that you quote-unquote smoke, cigars are fucking not even a crumb that... It's like not even a half of a crumb. It's so minuscule, yet they go after it so much.
And all the advocates, the Cigar Rights of America, the PCA, all those guys have been fighting to write up some kind of legislation where, one, there's accurate reporting and results on cigar smoking, and two, getting its own category. Obviously, they've been fighting that for years, but I feel like it's more than ever now.
Because again, just look at the average age. Okay,
35 years old.
What's the average age of cigarette smokers? Or what's the average age of weed smokers? What's the average age of vape smokers?
You're in high school. You would
gotta be much younger than cigar smokers.
I remember being in high school and kids were smoking cigarettes. Now imagine a kid running in the bathroom to smoke a cigarette. Now he's smoking a cigar.
No, doesn't
happen. That's not even. What's the word? Fathomable? Is that? It
doesn't happen. Does not happen.
Fathomable or thought? It's not even. You can't even think of that.
You know what we should do is we should freaking reach out to Tucker Carlson and be like, "Yo, get us on your show, man. You want to talk more about this 95%?
Oh, you would have a fucking ball.
Yo, get us. I almost want to take a video right now and tag him talking about the 95%. What's up, Tucker Carlson? Should we do that?
Fuck it.
I'll do a little boomerang.
Yeah,
a little boomerang right now.
No, we'll just just go right in his DMs and we'll just send him a video in his DM and say, "What's up, bro? 95% tax. You want to enjoy cigars with us? We got cigars we can give you."
All right, ready? Tucker
Carlson. And as Justin's finding that, as people already in New York already do.
Tucker Carlson tonight. Here he is. I'm going to follow him. He's got 1.9. Should we just send him a DM?
Yeah.
Send him a fucking DM. Message Tucker Carlson tonight, just like this.
Yeah.
So what should we say? We're going to be like, "Hey, Tucker."
We got a lot to say about this 95% tax in New York.
Yeah, ready? I'll say it. Ready? "Hey, Tucker, we saw you 95% tobacco tax on cigars."
New York State,
Burndown Podcast here. Myself, Justin, a.k.a. Dapper Cigar. That's Eric, a.k.a. Brother Cigar. We're talking about it right on our show right now. If you want to talk more on your show, you got to get us on. Come on.
Or you can come on the Burndown.
That too. Done.
Send it. Just gonna send it.
Bang. Sent Tucker Carlson a video.
Dude, how sick would that be? He's like, all right, sure. All right, perfect, no problem. But anyways, I was actually talking to a few people, and it was something.
Just fucking, that's awesome.
What?
Just send him a video right now.
Yeah, fuck it. What do we got to lose?
We'll never see it, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, at least we took our shot. I was actually talking to someone else, and it was actually a female smoker over in Europe, and she was saying, she's like, that's crazy. She goes, she first said we shouldn't complain in Europe because there's 2 to 3 price increases on cigars every year, and I said, well, that sounds worse than what it is in the United States. I go, in the United States, each state has its own tobacco law.
Yeah.
They dictate on what the percentage. She goes, each state dictates the percentage. I go, yeah. And she's like, that's kind of stupid. No, I'm like, well, no, not really. It gives the state more power to do whatever they want. But I said, at the end of the day, it really, like we were saying, it hurts the mom and the pop shops that have those high tax percentages because what do? You know, if I don't feel like going to a lounge and I want to buy a cigar that I know costs $10, or I want to buy a box of cigars that I cost about $10 a cigar, I'm not going to buy it in New York at the mom and pop shop because I'm going to pay 2-3 times the price. I'll just go. I could go to flyingcigar.com and buy the blueprint.
Yeah, out of Arizona, no tax.
For instance, if you wanted to buy a box at a lounge in New York, it's about what, $250, $260?
Yeah, it's going to be more. It's going to be close to $300 now.
Yeah.
Another 20%.
So get it. You can buy a box of blueprints in New York, pay about $250 to $300.
Yeah, I think it's $265, $270.
Yeah,
it all depends on what shop you're in because some kind of tweak it up.
Or you could go to a low tax tobacco state like Texas, Florida, which is 0, or Pennsylvania,
Arizona, which is where the Flying Cigar is.
That's where I was going. Arizona, you get a box of blueprints, 120, 150,
no,
180. Well,
yeah, it's 180. In Arizona, it's 180.
What am I thinking?
Yeah,
$9 times 20. Oh, I'm sorry,
I did
dumb math. Yeah,
the math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathin'. Yeah, word. Math ain't mathin'. Yesterday,
inside joke from yesterday.
I was like, what are you saying? Math ain't what?
What? Ain't mathin'? What the hell is ain't mathin'?
I'm not good at math, but what are you saying? Yeah, math ain't mathin'. So I don't know why I said 120. Yeah. So you can pay $300 for a box of blueprints in New York, or you pay $180 online. You do the math. What are you going to do?
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people in New York do. I mean, I certainly do it. Why am I going to pay all this tax? I'll just buy something from Cigar International and pay zero tax.
It's just you're taxing a luxury that one isn't causing any harm. Like if you look at just statistics, it does not cause the average cigar smoker harm because they're not smoking every single day. They're smoking once in a while, and it doesn't ill to your health. So it's not like it's killing anybody.
And you're taxing an older demographic, a more mature demographic, as opposed to not. If you wanted to tax, if you wanted to tax weed at 60, 80%, I get that because it alters your way of thinking, it alters your mood,
right? Like
emotions.
For instance, alcohol. Why isn't there a huge tax on alcohol with the amount of drinking and driving that goes on?
Not enough lobbyists.
Right?
That's why
there's no tax on it, right? But if you're gonna, it's like somebody saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do 100% tax on red wine." Now, all the people that just like to enjoy a glass of red wine at the end of their evening, now they're gonna have to pay twice as much to enjoy that luxury.
And they'll just go to a state that doesn't have tax on it.
Okay, but now what you're doing is you're pushing out all of these people from these states, from all these states that California, New York, that are just crazy with these taxes. They're letting all the shit that's you would think is bad, they're just letting that slide, and all the luxuries that aren't harming anybody, they just tax the fuck out of them.
And what I think, I guess, in order for a cigar mom and pop shop to survive. If this is, 75% is already hard enough, but now if it goes to nearly 100%, they're going to stop buying cigars and they're going to start buying product that is low tax, like cannabis,
or they're just going to go get
vaping.
Them. Or people, what's going to happen is because the mom and pops, in order to survive, right, they have to pay the heavier tax to get the product in. They're going to have to increase the price because it all boils down. It filters down to the end to the consumer, right? So the mom and pops are going to have to increase their prices in order to make ends meet. And all the people that are coming to these lounges are like, I'm not going to buy that when I can just go online and ship cigars to my house for half the price. So they're going to stop going to the lounges, and that's who's going to hurt is the mom and pops that have to raise the prices because they have no other choice. If you want to sell cigars in the state that you live in, and all the people aren't going to go anymore.
Or you can start adopting the business model as our boy, Mr. A-List himself, Israel Leon. My brain's fucked up. You know what? I had a fucking pack of sour Skittles
Fucked
right
you
before
up,
I
man.
came here. Took all the taste buds out of my mouth, and I tried to shoot a little quick cigar video. It made me fucking not think.
Fucked your brain up, man.
My coffee's not enjoyable. My cigar's not enjoyable because of stupid sour Skittles.
Maybe they should be taxing sour Skittles because they fuck up your brain.
I'm never eating those motherfuckers again. Yeah, Israel Leone from Leaf Cigar Lounge. He has a little business model where you don't have. He has like a subscription service just to come into the lounge, so you can bring your own cigars. You can buy cigars from Pennsylvania. Bring them in, and you have a place to go. You don't have to worry about spending $20 on a cigar just to hang out. And
you get other amenities from the membership and
stuff. But
stuff.
That's the overall thing, which is pretty smart. Because as you're saying this, I'm thinking, well, why don't you just have a lounge just pay to just come into the lounge and smoke?
It's all right. It's just it's not into the actual speakers, just our headset.
Okay. Because as you're saying, like it's hurting the mom and pop shop because they got to increase the price. It hurts the end consumer. Then why not just say, all right, I'm XYZ Lounge. You can bring whatever you want, smoke whatever you want, but it's $30 a month to come. That way, you have at least some kind of residual revenue coming in. You don't have to depend on people buying cigars. And that's what it's like. What it's going to come down to soon. I feel like a subscription-based lounge.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're basically just paying for like a private club, and then they say, oh, you're not buying cigars here. You get the cigars for free, but here's the membership, and it's like, hey, you get X amount of cigars a month. Doesn't matter what the cigars, you get X amount of cigars a month, and then they don't have to. But then again, is in order to bring those cigars in, they still have to pay the tax on them, right? So. They got to pay it somewhere. Like if you have a lounge and you want to sell the cigars as a consumer, you got to pay the tax. But what he's saying is that you can go if they say you can't sell cigars whatsoever, because he brought that up when we interviewed him.
Yeah.
If they just say you cannot sell cigars, he said my business still runs because I still have a membership. I can't sell you cigars, but you can come to my lounge for different events. And we can have Super Bowl parties here. We can have cigar events here. I can't sell you the actual cigar, but I can have the cigars that are part of the member. You pay the $100 a month to be part of this membership, and you just get the cigars for free.
You get all the benefits. That's like,
right.
If this podcast studio ended up being a lounge, and we just started charging people to come whenever they wanted.
And different levels, right? If you pay $100 a month, you can smoke 10 cigars. If you pay $200 a smoke, you can smoke 20 cigars. You pay $1,000, you get unlimited cigars. Yeah. And whatever, I'm not selling you a cigar, I'm just selling you a membership.
Social club.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I just don't understand why New York they want I just feel like they're just trying to control so much. They want to take things away. Cuz also that lawyer from New York State said, "Watch this. I guarantee you they're going to start taxing red meat." Because all they want you to do is eat kale and eat green and eat all this stuff. They want to tax all these luxury items. And if that's the case, man, I find more and more reasons to move out of New York. Another guy DM'd me today and said, "Listen, bro." He goes, "I was in San Francisco. I used to live in San Francisco. I loved it, but it was all this craziness, tax, blah, 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 blah." He goes, "I live in Arizona." He goes, "Imagine living in Arizona with your wife. You wake up and he sent me a picture, a nice sunrise like this with the cactus and
the sun show.
Hi-yo.
It's just our so we had a little technical. The headset. One of these cables is not the best
working
cable.
Properly.
So it.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the message exactly. What he said.
No, I was singing "Sunshine When She."
I'll tell you exactly what he said.
I want to hear this because I actually pulled up an article from Half Wheel which talks about this, and it's got some good data in here.
Well, look at this picture, bro. I mean, first of all, look at that picture of Arizona, right?
Yeah, it's dope.
So this is what he said. So shout out to Brian. He's Cigar Guy Bry on Instagram. Think about this as a review. You and your wife enjoying the quiet sounds of nature. It's January, 70 degrees outside, and you're enjoying a couple cocktails in short while smoking a nice cigar. You didn't pay 95% in taxes. I said, sounds fucking amazing.
Sounds fucking good to me.
All right?
The only problem, see, it's tough.
I got a couple interesting messages.
I wish there was a spot, in which kind of, Pennsylvania, I don't think there's, Pennsylvania's looking nicer and nicer because it's basically the same as New York. In the fact that you get all 4 seasons.
And listen, New York in itself is not New York City. Obviously, that's what people think of.
Right. And but the problem is that all of the thoughts and the ideologies of New York City
Or it's spread throughout the whole city.
spread throughout the whole state.
Yep.
Okay? But if you look at like Pennsylvania,
Which is such bullshit.
I know. But if you look at Pennsylvania, it's got all 4 seasons like New York does. It has mountains, the Pocono Mountains, like New York does. It has no, I don't think it has tax.
Zero.
It's zero cigar tax. So I'm like, there's less state income tax when you go there. So I'm like, Pennsylvania's kind of sounding pretty good now, man. You know, and it's not like everybody says, "Oh, you're gonna go away from your family." You're not really that far.
Nah, man.
You know, if you go out to fucking Pittsburgh, yeah, but it's not that far. A couple hours.
This is another. I got another interesting message. This is a.
Get them people sliding in them DMs.
I had to actually talk to a lot of good people today on Instagram when I posted that about it. But he's
you
a
hear
real
an interesting message I got.
No, I actually don't, because I know exactly what you're telling what that means. So this is from Kevin Amorim. He's a real estate agent out in Ontario, Canada. He goes, "It's an all-out assault on tobacco. I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago. Essentially, you can't smoke anywhere. As soon as they got there, they decided to have a massive ban on smoking just about anywhere. Mexico grows its own tobacco." And he goes, "I have a bit of a conspiracy theory about this. Would you like to know about my theory?" I said, "Yes, I would."
Yes, I would.
Funny
you should ask.
He goes, "So nicotine is the most neuroprotective compound known to man. I think they will eventually..."
Neuroprotective compound. So what do they mean by that?
I have to ask because I haven't responded. I'm reading this message.
Actually, okay. So I'm going to look that up. Neuroprotective.
Yeah, look that up because I was going to say look that up because I have no idea what that means. He said, "So nicotine is the most neuroprotective compound known to man. I think they will eventually outlaw anything containing nicotine and then rebrand nicotine to sell to Alzheimer's patients to prevent them from degrading further. The oldest people in the world were either cigar or pipe smokers. As you know, cigar and pipe smokers make up an extremely small amount of the population."
Okay, so here it says neuroprotection refers to the mechanisms and strategies employed to defend the central nervous system, or CNS, against injury due to both acute, which is trauma or stroke, and chronic neurodegenerative disorders. So they're saying that he's saying that nicotine is a neuroprotector of your central nervous system against injury. That's what he's saying. So actually, let's look that up.
It's pretty wild.
Nicotine as a neuro...
So he's saying...
Nicotine neuroprotective. Nicotine is known to protect neurons from stress-induced apoptosis? Does nicotine improves cognitive functions by modulating neuroplasticity and cortical excitability in non-smoking subjects? I don't know what that. So basically they're saying that nicotine can protect in stress-induced environments.
And it helps protecting the nervous central system? Is that
protects your nervous system against injury. And actually, that's interesting because Joe Rogan had somebody on his podcast talking about how nicotine is one of like the best chemicals for.
We got to do a whole episode about this. This is interesting,
right? So I actually pulled up. That's very interesting. I think it's a good thing is that they're going against the thing that can help.
Of course.
And this is just nicotine itself. We're not like there's plenty of other things that give you nicotine that have a lot of other things in them. Like we say, oh, well, smoking cigarettes is good for you. No. That's not what we're saying. The nicotine can help in certain environments, help protect your body against the central nervous system against against injury from stress. However,
cigarettes are nicotine plus a cajillion.
Yes. However, there's
chemicals.
a shit ton of other things in there. Okay. But to go on a different. Go back to the cigar tax is I actually have an article from Half Wheel when they talked about it.
What up, though?
Right. So he says, obviously, we talked about how it's currently the tax rate is 75% of their wholesale price, already among the highest in the nation. Under this proposed legislation, which it looks like it might go into effect, that number would increase to 95. So he said, in practical terms, a cigar with an MSRP of $9.50, okay, which is about what ours is.
Yeah.
Likely has a price of $16.63 before sales tax in New York. Under the current laws, this is what they estimate. That would increase to $18.53 if the new tax rate goes into effect. So a cigar that should cost $9 is going to cost close to $20.
Essentially, more than doubling.
Right. So if you have something that's 0%, right, in
tax.
Arizona, which is our cigar, it's $9. Okay. In New York, it goes up to 16. In some places, I've seen 14 and change, 15, right? Which is right where we wanted to price it. Now it's going to go up to $18.50. It's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And it also doesn't, besides hurting the mom and pop shops, it also hurts the brands like us that are trying to be upcoming and create something for themselves. Because when you see brands like Padron, Arfuente, Plasencia, all the big name brands, I guess I could see people like being okay with paying that much because it's like paying for like a Benz or a fucking BMW. You know, it comes with the price tag.
It's gonna hurt the middle class.
So when someone sees a blueprint for the first time and they have no idea what it is and they see it's $18, either A, they're gonna say, oh well, they got some balls trying to be a new brand and then
they're gonna smoke and be like, wow, this is a fucking great stick.
Yeah. Or they're gonna say, well, fuck these guys. I have no idea who they are. Who do they think they are? Selling their cigar for $18.
Yeah.
Two ways it can go.
So this is actually interesting. So he said that the effect would be higher for cigars with an MSRP of $9.15 or less that come in packs of 5 or fewer.
Say that again? What?
So he's saying this effect could be higher for cigars that have an MSRP of $9.15 or less that come in packs of 5 or fewer. So you get a 5-pack. And he's saying currently New York's tobacco tax is $4.35 per pack. For cigars with an MSRP of more than $9.15, the 95% tax rate would be more than $4.35. But for the cigars with lower prices, this proposed legislation would require them to pay the minimum of $4.35. So what they're saying is that they're also going to put in a minimum of $4.35. So for example, a cigar that has an MSRP of $6 likely costs around $10.50 before sales tax currently. Mm-hmm. With the proposed hike, that number would be $14.70.
Yeah, it's like a minimum. It's like a minimum tax.
So you got to pay the minimum of whatever this proposed tax is. So a $6 stick you're going to have to pay the minimum as if it was a $9.15. So it's going to be a $15. It's $6 goes to $15. That's legit 150% hike.
Stupid, man.
It's ridiculous. There's gonna be no cigars that are less than $10.
What about this?
Nothing.
What about saying like right? You have a cigar, right? And say we take the blueprint, right? And say we want to label it as cannabis. We take a smidge, a fucking tiny little piece of cannabis, a little piece, and just put it inside the cigar. Well, now it's cannabis. Now we're gonna get taxed at 13%. Why not? I mean, there already are coming out with cannabis cigars, right? But
it's just they literally want to. It all goes back to they want to. My theory is that they just want to dumb the entire fucking nation. That's what they want to do. Okay. Same thing as why they.
What are the two biggest, dumbest states? East Coast and West Coast, New York and California.
They just want to dumb everybody down, right? So they want you to just smoke weed all fucking day. Okay. They want you to not think for yourself. That's why they push all this fucking propaganda on TV. They want to create sheeple, right? So it's probably part of the plan as well. They want to tax all the stuff that's the luxuries that all these smart people, they want to tax all that shit so you don't smoke anymore, so you got to go smoke the shit.
Bro, do you know what? Talking about that, I watched a clip from Grant Cardone, and it's a pretty interesting.
By the way, his dad is a fucking spitting image of him.
Is he?
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's like they're twins. They're fucking twins.
So he had a pretty interesting take on buying a house. Have you ever seen this clip?
Yeah, he said nobody should buy a house.
He said nobody should buy a house, and he's like, well,
unless you're going to rent it out.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know if he even said that. He says no one should buy a house, and the guy's like, what?
Yes, I know exactly where you're going with
this. He's like, what do you mean?
This is great. Everybody, listen up. Clean your ears out and listen to this.
And it makes a lot of fucking sense.
It makes 100% sense.
And he goes, banks can't sell you anything. They have to have some kind of asset.
They can't lend you money for nothing.
They can't lend you money for nothing. They can't just say, you can't go to the bank and say, I want $100,000 cause. Like, no.
There has to be a product.
There has to be a product. So they said, why don't we start saying, the American dream, we will help you fund a house. And now, you have to go to a bank. Majority of this world and country, you have to go to a bank now to buy a house. And what does that come with? Comes with a mortgage. And what is that mortgage? It's whatever the interest rate is, whatever the percentage of they get back over the course of the year of the mortgage.
Yep.
It's a whole
and who makes fucking money on this? The banks.
Of course.
Right? Because the banks are either going to make money off of you from the interest, or you don't pay and you default in your house. And they take the house and then they just sell it to somebody else.
Yep. And
they lend them money out, and they don't even, and it's not even their money to lend.
And I don't.
They take everybody else's money, right? That has put it into their savings account, and they pile this all up and they lend it out to somebody else to pay for.
Because for the longest time, I never understood when people say, "Oh, I keep all my cash underneath my mattress." And I was like, "Why the fuck do you do that?" When I was younger, obviously, I never understood that. But I was like, "Fuck, man, that's so true." Banks can't sell you anything if they have nothing to offer you.
And you want to hear another thing he said? He talks about you never keep cash in the bank because he said that he go into any. Let's say you have, I don't know. Let's say you got $1 million in the bank. Go to your bank and say, I want to withdraw $1 million. They won't let you. He said, no, it's my account says I have $1 million. I want the $1 million. I want to close my account. They won't let you. He says he's tried. He's tried to go and say, give me my money, and they won't. He goes, everybody, it's like has no clue what to do because they don't have it. He says, so you keep the cash in your bank. It's not even yours because they give it to somebody else.
And it's not like
you can't get it out.
And it's not like you really, like on a basic savings account, it's not like you're making any money from having it in there. You have to get specialized accounts that give you a couple % a year back on your money. So it's like you're not even, it probably costs you more to keep your money in the
It does with inflation. Now with inflation.
100%.
Yeah, he's big into you take it and you buy real estate with it.
I was like, and I've seen that video a while ago, but someone just sent it to me again, and it reminded me. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, that's so bizarre, but it's so true. Banks can't sell you anything if they have nothing to offer.
Well, he also talked about how they can lend you money. You want to start a business. He goes, but it's risky for them because now you're a business owner, and now you have all these tax write-offs. He goes, so now actually you make more money. But with a house, they don't do that. They wind up making money off of you because of the interest rate.
Yeah.
Which is why if you pay those, they always say if you could pay extra, you pay extra because it actually saves you money. If you have a 30-year mortgage and you pay it off in 25, that extra 5 years of interest, you save like 50, 60, 70 grand. And the banks don't like that.
Yeah, of course. Fuck them, man. Fuck them.
Fuck. 95. I can't believe 95 fucking %, man. There was another thing at the end of this article, too. I just wanted to bring it up because it was a nice little closing point here. They were saying that they actually wanted to make it higher. They were actually talking about 129%.
Suck a big, fat, mother effing, you know what. Kick effing rocks, bro. Oh, my God. It gets me so angry.
It says if the bill were to become law, not this 129, the 80, whatever it is, 95%. Said if the bill were to become law, New York would have the highest tax on cigars in the United States.
Wow, shocker.
Topping Utah's current tax of 86%.
Suck a fat one, bro.
So we would become the highest taxed region of. Dude, Pennsylvania's looking good.
Bro, and again, like, you know, we're super appreciative for Flying Cigar Co. because they're out in Arizona. They're our online retailer, right? If cigars were up to 120%, how would we sell cigars to lounge mom and pop shops in New York? Why would they want to take a shot? I mean, they should, but why would they want to take a shot on a younger, less established cigar brand as opposed to mom and pop shops? They say,
great point.
Fuente Padron, I know they sell because everyone knows them. I'll cough up the cost because they sell. I don't know who these Blueprint guys are. I don't know if it's going to sell. Why am I going to spend $1,000 on these cigars if I'm not even sure if they're going to sell? Which they will, because every time people buy them, they fly off the shelves. But
that's a good point, though.
That's a mindset.
Yeah, dude.
Something to think about. We got one of these next episodes. We got to think about that neural protection.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah,
we'll do some research on
that'll be the next one. Yeah, we definitely got a plan for that one.
Yeah. In the next couple of weeks, we do have a musical guest coming on.
We do.
A very interesting musical guest they had a banger back in the mid 2000s.
Should we drop a little
shake it.
So if people don't know, that's Metro Station. One of the guitarists from Metro Station.
If you made it this long in the episode, you'll get a little hint.
Yeah, Mason Musso is going to be a guest on the show.
Wild.
So if you're a Metro Station fan, if you're an OG Metro Station fan. Had one of the hottest songs in America at the time.
Yeah. I think it came out in 2007.
And he's going to be on our show.
I found some funny things I'm definitely going to ask him. Might make him feel a little weird, but if you Google Mason Musso, he comes up on Urban Dictionary. There's some like...
Really?
It's like weird, like not like really funny, like I guess comments about him, but I don't know why it would be under Urban Dictionary. But anyways,
is it like getting Munsoned out in the middle of nowhere?
No, it's like people talking about like how hot he is. Like there's weird, like funny ass shit.
Who knows that reference?
What?
You got Munsoned out in the middle of nowhere.
No,
you never see Kingpin?
No.
You never seen Kingpin with Woody Harrelson?
No.
And Bill Murray? Woody Harrelson plays it's a bowling movie, and Woody Harrelson plays a guy. His name is I think it's Eddie. No, not Eddie Munson.
Eddie Money.
No, Eddie Munson's the guy from Stranger Things. No, his last name is Munson, and he's a bowler, but he gets caught up in the wrong thing. He loses his hand and all this other shit. And Bill Murray plays his like arch rival, and Bill Murray is a very successful bowler, and since he hates the guy Munson, he just uses his last name and makes it a word. So he just starts telling people like when you get stranded or you get down on life, you get Munsoned. So the guy, Woody Harrelson comes up, he's like, "What did you say?" He goes, "I got Munson out in the middle." He goes, "What?" "I got Munson. I'm like down on my luck, whatever." He goes, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like he gets so mad because his name is basically Mud now, right?
No shit.
Anyway,
well, we'll end on a good note.
Yeah,
I had a really since I started a new job about a year ago now, a larger organization. So I'm like, there's going to be a time where someone's going to like recognize who we are, who I am. I just know it. So early on starting this job, there was a few people like, "Yo, I was just on TikTok and your face came across. Like, what's up with that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my podcast." There were a few people like, I was on TikTok and I saw you doing these videos. What do you do? But then it's pretty wild. We have multiple offices. I bounce between New York and Long Island and Greenwich, Connecticut. And there was a kid who I met in our Greenwich, Connecticut office, and we just he was new. We're meeting each other, and we're just blabbering this and that. And then that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then today he messaged me on Microsoft Teams, and he's like, "What's up, Eric? This is so and so. We met a couple weeks ago at the
on Microsoft Teams."
Yeah, our internal communication platform.
Like, is this a work call?
Yeah. Because at first I didn't recognize his name. I'm like, who is this guy messaging me? He's like, "Hey, Eric, this is so-and-so. We met at our Greenwich office a couple weeks ago." He goes, "I just realized I follow your podcast on Instagram. Wow. I love your content." I'm
wow.
Like, what? I'm like, no fucking way.
Wow.
And I'm like, that shit makes me laugh, bro, because it's just so funny. And then
that's fucking great. Wow.
And he ended up being friends with Mason from Buffalo Cigar Company. He's like, "Yeah, Mason from Buffalo Cigar Company put me onto your page." I'm like, no shit. That's fucking such a small world. I love it.
It's cool getting recognized, right?
It is. It is really cool. I show my wife. She's like, "Oh, you're loving life right now." And I was like, "Yeah,
we do like it.
Come on, like, how cool is it? You're at your
like
9 to 5 job, whatever. We're in our sales job, and you get a message from someone in your company saying, "Yo, I just met you, but I recognize you now because I follow your podcast." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, that's cool."
It is cool.
So if you like this episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified every single time we drop a new video. We've been dropping a lot of shorts recently.
Hopefully, check out the short game, man.
Hopefully,
it's all about that short game.
It's all about the short games. Hopefully, you guys are liking those.
Check out the website, burndownpodcast.com. Yep. Become a member, $5 a month.
Lost my train of thought.
I got you, bro. We get discounts. You get entered into members only monthly giveaways. Plus, you get 15% discount code to Our Cigar, the Blueprint. Check it out.
Up to 80 members now.
Yeah, we're cruising and bruising, baby.
Cruising goal to 100, baby. Goal to 100.
Road to 100. So we love you guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode. I'm the Dapper Cigar. This is Brother Cigar. We are the Burnout Podcast. And Eric, send them off with our...
We'll see you guys on the next one. The guys and gals, we will see you on the next podcast, whether you're watching or listening. We appreciate you all. Cheers. Chin chin. Salud. Shake, 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 God.